folks, and welcome to Subjective Thoughts. And our comic for today is Nightclub Issue 6 by Image. Now, there is fighting, blood, burning, weapons, explosions, and killing in this one, so if you are in any way squeamish, you have been warned. Also, spoilers. Alright, here is the creative team. So finally, I have arrived at the last issue of Nightclub. It's been not what I expected it to be, but I'll get to that later. Okay, so where we left off, Danny, Amy, and Sam in the last issue, the vampire gang has, the leader has told them that they have to kill their families and bring the hearts to them, to the gang, in order to, as an initiation, and if they didn't do it, then the vampires would kill them and their families. As you can see, our teenagers were in quite a horrible situation. We start out this comic with Danny and all of them meeting and going to a police station. So Danny has devised a plan. They go to the police station and use vampire hypnosis to hypnotize the cops to give them the all the dynamite and weapons they took away from the. By the way, my mistake. It was white supremacists, not neo Nazis. I just forgot that from the third issue. Anyway, from the terrorists. So they take the dynamite, the weapons, and they go to the address that the vampire leader gave them. So Danny's plan is this: they're gonna put explosives around the house they're in, and obviously blow it up, and then whoever manages to run out of there, they're going to kill. Not a bad plan, I will say. Though you have to think these are vampires with experience of some 2 centuries. Although the leader, I mean, almost 2 centuries. And also, what makes them think that they're for sure sleeping or can't get out as well into the sunlight by wearing clothes? Just saying. Anyway, the kids arrive. They plant the dynamite, or what was it called? No, not CH. Anyway, they put the explosives around. Meanwhile, inside the house, the vampires are not sleeping yet. What's his name? Sonny Jim is having an argument with the guy with the shitty hair. So he's apparently quite a sick fuck. He looks for people on the Twitter or the X or whatever it's called now to try to ruin their lives or get them to commit suicide with other people. So he does extra work. And he's one fucked up individual that unfortunately was turned to a vampire. Anyway, they argue, and then the leader comes out and says, shut up. I hear someone crawling around. And he tells Sadie, or the pregnant vampire chick, to go get their helmets. So they go outside in jackets, gloves, and bike helmets, to look around. And for some reason, Sam, Amy, and Danny are like, what the hell? Like, what? You guys think you were the only ones that knew the trick with putting clothes on? I mean, come on, these guys are all. You've been vampires how long? A few days? Come on, guys, they know the tricks. So I don't know. Maybe they were shocked also they were awake. But I mean, come on, you guys are awake too. Anyway, the leader pounces on Danny, hits him. Amy, and then shoots Sam with the harpoon gun, and he gets. He shoots him, and then he's stuck to the RV that they drive around with Bloody Mary in it. Then he grabs Amy and she gets thrown at the other vampires, and then he grabs Danny and teleports away with him, like a mile away from the house. The other three vampires take Amy inside. Uh, I guess they let her loose in the house. She can't escape. She yells that we're going to call the police, and she barricades in the cellar. Although that's a very bad idea because Bloody Mary's there. And you can see the three of them, Sonny Jim, the guy with the shitty hair, and the pregnant chick smile about it. So it's like, ah, shit. Meanwhile, Danny's fighting the leader, Gunner John. Yeah, Gunner John outside of this house. There's a family. Now he is a bit stronger because Danny has lost some blood. He's about to stake him, but then Danny takes a lawnmower and throws it at his head. And then he sees a little boy and he asks him, "Oh, can you invite me into your house?" They can't come into houses uninvited. The little boy knows him as Stargard, so he said, "Oh yes, yes." He invites him in, and he's like, "Well, you can't hide in there forever." And meanwhile, Sam looks at he's impaled to the RV, and he's like, "Shit, who knew harpoon arrows are so long?" But he sees the remote to the detonator with the batteries out on the grass. And he's like, "Shit, I gotta get to it." So I guess he starts pulling out the harpoon arrow. Then the back to Danny. He's inside the house, and the husband, the dad of the little boy, asks, "What's going on?" His wife's there, the son's there. Danny's looking outside. Ah, shit! Apparently, the little boy has a baby sister who's playing outside. And then they all go outside, and Gunner John's like, "Well, you can hide in there, but I can have fun with this baby outside." Danny goes outside with the family, jumps Gunner John, grabs the little girl, and tells her to quickly run back inside to her mommy. I guess the family goes back in. He keeps fighting Gunner John. Back to the house. Before that, Sam struggled with the gloves to put the batteries in. He puts the batteries in finally, and he says that whatever they're doing to Amy there, she'd rather be dead than let them win. So he pushes the button. But slightly before that, you see the Bloody Mary. Oh god, she's ugly. Talking to Amy in that language that no one knows. And she's telling her, "Oh, you're a bit older than what I like." So she likes the blood of children because it's clean. So she wants to take Amy into her tank to drain her blood. And as that's happening, the three upstairs, they look at like, well, what is Sam doing there? He pushes the button and everything detonates. And then the roof falls off and Bloody Mary starts to burn. And he tells her, "Well, Grandma, looks like you lost your roof." And then you see the three other vampires starting to burn. And the pregnant vampire chick's like, "How can you? I have a little baby." And you see inside of her womb, you see the little baby's a vampire. So holy shit. So basically that baby would have been a vampire forever. I mean, forever a baby vampire. Well, he's burning now too. So back to Gunner John and Danny. Of course, they hear and see the explosion. And Gunner John tells them, "Well, it doesn't matter. Even if your friend survived that, I'm gonna go there and kill him. Kill them. I mean, he says I'm going to kill them." And he also tells Danny, "I'm stronger, more powerful, and more experienced than you." Which yes, he is. And what can Danny do? But then Danny looks at his biker helmet, and it's made out of glass fiber. And he's like, "Yeah, but that is no problem at all." And he punches right through it and breaks Garner John's helmet. And then he falls and he starts burning. And he's about to run to get cover under the shade of trees. I still don't understand how the fuck just shaded clothing protects them, but whatever. But Danny's like, I know you don't. He runs after him, and tackles him. And Gardner John's like, well, if I'm going down, then so are you. And he pulls off his wrestling mask. And Danny also starts to burn, but Danny's like, nah, I'm not. No, Gardner John said, we'll both die. He said, I don't care. And he keeps wrestling him. And Sam and Amy quickly they come to look for him. They see the family that Danny saved the little girl, and while they're quickly heading to their car, it sounds like, oh wait, we're just looking for a friend. We won't hurt you. And Sam, but then Sam, and not Sam, Amy sees Sam and tells him, "Come on." They go to him. Gardner John is dead, burned. Danny is well, really already in a bad state, but still with them. They grab him and pull him to the shade under the trees. And Sam's like, "Oh shit, what do we do? A hospital is really far away from here, the nearest one." And he's like, "Wait, I got this. Danny will drink from my wrists." And I'll just tell him when to stop. So Danny drinks blood from Amy until he heals. His hair grows back, his skin is fine. And then he and Amy look at each other. And it sounds like, well, I'm going to go make sure Gardner John's dead. And he leaves, and then Danny and Amy kiss.
What the fuck is happening?
And it's like, wait, what? And they even, Amy falls backwards, and she and Danny are continue kissing. And Sam is standing near the body of Gardner John. He's like, what the actual fuck? And I was sitting there like, my thoughts exactly, Sammy boy. What, why? At no point did Danny show any romantic interest in Sam. I mean, it's known that she likes him that way, but it's like, what? Why? What, did he read her mind and suddenly also feels, what the fuck? Okay, continuing. Then later they take the ashes of the vampires and they pour them into the river. They have no one to ask really what to do, so they use Google. So then so what they do after that, as he says, over the next 5 weeks, so they go to a doctor and he writes them up using hypnosis. So he'd write them up that they have some condition and now they're allergic to the sun. So they go back to school now, but they're all covered up. So that's it. They can sort of resume a normal life. Their YouTube channel is successful. They have a lot of money. They convert Detective Nick's hideout into their, I guess, base of operations to put all the shit they buy. They also leave like a little message to the cops, where the angels of whatever city it is they live in, I forgot already. And then you see them playing video games, and Amy and Danny looking at each other, and you can see Sam upset. And Danny's narrating, who knew vampires could have a happy ending? Vampire stories could have a happy ending, and then he says, but life always throws you a curveball. You don't know what curveballs life will throw you. And then you see Sam walking towards his high school bully and his posse. And he's looking at him and says, hey, want to join my gang? And that's it. That's where the final issue ends. Or as it says, the end of volume 1. Right. Okay, so cover. So I apparently got the B cover. It's the same, but in black and white. It looks pretty cool, I'll say. I do like the black and white. Not that I really care, but it's a good composition. Alright, let me show you some of the art. There you see, that's the morning after. Danny's standing there. If you hear talking, it's my grandma. You see there's Danny. And they're getting ready to go to the police station. Sorry. Go to the police station. There we go. You can see they're hypnotizing the cops and getting ready. Which, of course, getting explosives was the easy part. Okay, on to the story. So, at the first issue, this story seemed to be really promising. You know, ooh, we're gonna have a vampire story. You got Detective Nick, and he's gonna have Danny as a sidekick. We're gonna see some vampire shit. And then that didn't happen for 2 issues, really. Because Danny, turned his friends into vampires, and then they did all sorts of shenanigans. Of course, they also helped people for money, but still they helped. And then out of nowhere, you find out why. And also you see Detective Nick with the vampire gang, and it's just all. And then we go to issue 4 where they just kill off Nick. They killed him. And then they threaten them, and then the final issue is the standoff, and now this ending. I don't know. Like, I'm not a writer. Maybe there's something here that I'm not seeing plot wise, but this seems like such a mess. This story needed more issues. It needed at least to have a few more issues to expand it. Because it's just. I feel like there were cool bits in here that, again, Detective Nick should have been the main character. And throw in Danny. And don't really include his friends that much, maybe. I think that would have worked better. Here's just, okay, so this happened. And they're like, now we're the only remaining vampires. But how do you know? You just come across these guys. That's it. How do you know? Also, the fact that they managed to defeat older vampires, but to be fair, sometimes being too cocky and confident will be your downfall. I guess that is pretty neat that they managed it, but now it's like, okay, so that's it? They're just gonna be vampires now? Of course, the ending implies that Sam's gonna turn the bully and his posse maybe into vampires. Does that mean he's going to fight against Amy and Sam in the future? I mean, where's this gonna go? There will be a second series, that is. I don't know. I just like the whole thing could have just focused on Nick, him, from the inside trying to defeat these vampires. And I think that would have been much better. And just have Danny as a sidekick. I think that would have made the story much better. And then this issue also had, I think, a few pacing issues as well, even though it's supposed to be like a double-sized one. But yeah, anyway. And the whole thing with Danny and Amy out of fucking nowhere. That's why I said it needed more issues. Like, okay, Amy had a thing for Danny. Why? Danny didn't. Why would he kiss her then? Okay, he saw that she did, so he's like, I'm just gonna go with it. There was never any indication he likes her like that. If there was, fair enough. Happy ending with a smooch, but it's just, it's so out of nowhere. And I would say, like, what the actual fuck? See, yeah, that baffled me. I'm like, wait, why? And to be fair, it's been a while since I read issue 1, 2, and 3, but I'm certain there was nothing there to indicate any interest from Danny. So it's just plain weird. And that's it. That's all it's gonna take to break up the friendship. And Sam's gonna what? Turn evil now, or just have his own gang? I mean, I know this is the end of this series, but I just don't think this story really needs to be continued. Just cut it off here. It's a bit of a mess anyway. So, yeah. I am disappointed, I'll say. It looked promising in the 5th issue. Ooh, there's gotta be a fight. And although there were explosives and shit, it wasn't the epic fight I was hoping for. And also, it never even touched much on Bloody Mary. She must have then been ancient, But wait, what does it mean? Who did they get her from? What were her powers? Why did they, who gave them Bloody Mary? Why would they continue to help her? Because it looks like she needs assistance to get blood, so why do they continue doing it? Maybe the vampire that gave them Bloody Mary's still around. And then there's so many interesting aspects here that weren't explored, I think. So yeah, overall, this wasn't as great as I hoped it would be. Overall, the story, I guess it can be a light, maybe fun read, but it's not even focusing much on, and I just don't feel it's cohesive enough. It's a bit all over the place. So yeah, but I guess if you're looking for a light vampire story to read, even though I know there's biting here and everything else, it's not really, it's not that extreme really. But the laws of vampires here are funny. Like, I still don't get how just a bit of cloth or a helmet can fucking protect them from the sun. Even shade. Like, what, that's it? Oh, if only Dracula knew, he would have just bought an umbrella and walked the earth. I mean, the whole thing is they can't come out until the sun's down. And here it's like, fuck it, just throw something on you. Although, again, every writer can change the rules with how vampires work. I've read other vampire stories where it was different. But it's still funny. just a bit of cloth, you're good. Yeah, well, that's it. So that was Nightclub. I think even if a second series comes out, I'm just not gonna pursue it. Yeah, I've had enough of this one. Alright, so that's it, folks. If you like vampire stories and looking for something short to read, maybe give this a try then. Yeah, you might like it, perhaps. I, in the end, didn't like it as much. But still, it wasn't that terrible. So, that's it. Now remember, collect what you're passionate about and share it on YouTube. Bye!